60%, 3/5 of the Senate want to vote on a bill, they can use this tool called the filibuster to continue debating it. And what this does is that it keeps it from being voted upon, which technically or practically speaking causes the majority rule of the Senate to go out the window and to where you have to have a supermajority, 60%, to get anything effectively done. For those of you that study this closely, or for those of you that follow this closely, you'll know that there was a term called the nuclear option that was coined, I think, by McConnell back when he was the minority leader of the Senate when in the past, because Democrats started using what he called the nuclear option on approving judges, federal court judges. And this is what ultimately led to the nuclear option being used and the filibuster being eliminated for, Supreme Court justices. And this ultimately is what allowed the Supreme Court nominees of Donald J. Trump to be, to be voted upon in a simple 51 vote majority for those. So the Democrats, some of them are clamoring to get rid of the filibuster because, after all, they have the majority. Well, technically, it's split evenly in the Senate. But Kamala Harris, turns out, as I've said before, Sarah Palin was right back in 2008 that one of the roles of the Vice President of the United States is to be the President of the U.S. Senate and cast the tie-breaking vote in situations where it's a 50-50 split. And so that gives them, Kamala Harris gives the Democrats the majority of the U.S. Senate. So this makes some of the radical left say, look, man, we can't get anything done without getting rid of the filibuster. But then some of them say, look, if we just lose a couple of these seats and we lose the presidency in 2024, or even lose a couple seats in the Senate itself in 2022, we're going to be in trouble because now the Republicans can get rid of the filibuster. We'll have set that precedent. And so they're hesitant to do this. So what they've tried to do is to use this tool called budget reconciliation, which we've talked about before, which basically says for certain types of bills that address spending, deficits, there's a very clear and technical set of rules that determines what is, I shouldn't say very clear, as clear as can be in this world of politics, I guess, but there's a series of rules that say these are the types of things that must happen for something to qualify for budget reconciliation. And so budget reconciliation only needs 51 votes. It does not need 60 votes. It is one of the things that has a kind of a bypass mechanism around the filibuster. And so they thought that they were all set up to cram down the throats of the American public, particularly the business community, the minimum wage increase. They thought that they were all set to have a $15 an hour minimum wage increase, which the federal minimum wage today is $7.50. So literally doubling this over the next, I think it was phased in over, was it 5 years, 4 or 5 years? And so they thought that they could make the case that that was something that qualified for budget reconciliation. However, as they found out yesterday, actually last night, the parliamentarian of the Senate, again, this is the person who is responsible for interpreting and applying the rules appropriately so that they do things according to the law and their own rules, ruled that this is not part of budget reconciliation. I want to read you a bit from the New York Times. Just listen to how this is talked about. It is truly remarkable to me how these radical leftists, this passes as unbiased news, by the way, as well. Headline here, top Senate official disqualifies minimum wage from stimulus plan. The parliamentarian ruled that the provision, which would gradually increase the wage to $15 an hour, violated the strict budgetary rules that limit what can be included in the package. By the way, exactly right. Look, budget reconciliation was not designed to be something that allowed the Senate to circumvent their own rules to pass things that should be put into legislation. So this is a victory, in my estimation, for the rule of law. This is written by a journalist named Emily Cochran, New York Times. She writes this: Democrats suffered a major setback on Thursday in their bid to push through a $15 an hour minimum wage as part of President Biden's $1.9 trillion with the T. I encourage you to write that number out sometime. It's remarkably large. Nonetheless, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package after the Senate's top rule enforcers said that the increase could not be included in the bill. The decision effectively knocked out a crucial plank of Mr. Biden's plan, championed by liberals. Of course it is, because it is a liberal plan. It is a plan of the radical left, just as Mr. Biden is a president who endorses the ideology, by and large, of the left, even the radical left. She continues here, and it demonstrated the perils of the Democrats' strategy to fast-track package of the sweeping pandemic aid legislation, part of an effort to steer around Republican obstruction. You know, I hate to be the bearer of the bad news here to Emily Cochran, but there are different viewpoints in this nation, and some of those viewpoints are held by people who are in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, but we're talking here about the Senate in particular. So if you oppose this, you're an obstructionist? What is this? This passes, by the way, just for those of you taking notes and want to know when people like me would say it's fake news or it's not a biased news report. Here's a perfect example. What is objectively obstructionist about that? What is objectively obstructionist about wanting to make sure, first and foremost, that the rules of the Senate are followed? There's a novel concept. I wish that there was a parliamentarian for the Supreme Court. Maybe these rulings would be different. I don't really, because you can't really do that. But the point is, wouldn't that be nice if someone could say, no, that's not, you're not applying the law there. You're engaging in sophistry. You are, writing an opinion based upon something that is not rooted in the Constitution, not rooted in the law. But we don't have that there. And you really can't. I'm not suggesting. I'm just saying, could you imagine if there was someone who had this sort of interpretive authority here over the Supreme Court as we have here over the Senate? So, but it's obstructionist to oppose raising the minimum wage. It's obstructionist to oppose anything that the Democrats want to do. It's a 50-50 split Senate, Ms. Cochran. I know you think that you are doing your part to, I think she probably thinks that she's being unbiased, but give me a break. This is not objectively obstructionist. This is objectively just part of politics. And I want to talk a little bit more about the minimum wage as well. We talked about this a couple of, 2-3 weeks ago. The government interjecting itself here is not a good thing. I'm telling you, it is not a good thing. I would like for people to make more money. I think that is a good thing. I also think that it's a good thing for people to be healthier and to be, take your pick. Better, more intelligent. Can we legislate these things? I think it's a good thing if more people have I think it's a good thing if everyone has a relationship with God, Jesus. But you don't legislate these things. I mean, the idea here that you can somehow arbitrarily force people to make more money and have no consequence whatsoever is beyond naive to me. But it's a victory in the short term here for this not to be included in budget reconciliation, because it at least requires that this go through the normal procedures of the Senate. Now, Bernie Sanders is out there saying he's going to try to do some workaround to where he's going to effectively try to get people in the business owners to be punished if they don't pay their. So instead of forcing them to pay people $15 an hour, which they can't get in this bill, Bernie says this: I'm confident that we have a majority in the U.S. Senate, including the vice president, that would vote to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour as part of America's rescue plan. Yet because of the archaic and undemocratic rules of the Senate, I guess he's referring to the filibuster and the normal processes and having a parliamentarian who actually interprets what's supposed to be said and done as it pertains to behavior and the way legislation is passed in the Senate. He continues, we are unable to move forward and end starvation wages. There's a new term. I've heard living wages. I don't know that I've heard starvation wages in this country, and raise the income of 32 million struggling Americans. He said he would try an alternative approach here, according to the New York Times, proposing in addition to the stimulus measure that would take tax deductions away from companies that fail to pay their workers at least $15 an hour. So if you can't force them to by the law, you must pay this amount. Now we're going to punish you if you don't, because some arcane measure, Bernie Sanders says, allows companies to pay their employees starvation wages. I mean, that even defies common sense. Starvation wages. Again, I'm sure the New York Times think this is a very unbiased and objective way in which to present the story. Of course, they can present Bernie Sanders' perspective, but believe me, the New York Times is completely on board with Bernie Sanders' perspective as it pertains to the minimum wage and I guess how those wages are now starvation wages. Anyway, timeout is in order. Continue this discussion after the break. You're listening here to the Home of Conservative, Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings at $27 per month, if you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Welcome back. Okay, so I want to talk here more about the minimum wage. And I talked about this before a couple of weeks ago, but I know that it sounds good, right? It sounds good to say, oh my goodness, you're not making enough money. You're not making enough money. And it builds some sort of bond, I guess, with constituents or with people that follow you to say, I'm going to make sure that your company pays you what you're worth. I'm going to make sure that your company at least pays you a living wage. I'm going to make sure, Bernie Sanders says, that I'm going to end starvation wages. Starvation wages for you. I'm going to step in and fix it. I'm going to be your knight in shining armor. I am going to be your hero. Government is going to save you from the perils, the pitfalls, the nastiness of the private sector, of the economy. That's what we're here for. We're to protect you from the big, bad, evil guy. And look, I'm not saying that corporations are always right or that they're always, just good intentioned or just benevolent or whatever. That's, by the way, with the politically correct culture we live in, they look at these issues and try to find opportunities to make it look like that they are such great things. They actively look for things to show their customers or their prospects just how much they care. And look, sometimes it is for very good reasons. There's a whole mixture. We're dealing with people ultimately, and so when you deal with people, there's a whole host of motivations and so forth. But when it comes to the minimum wage, I've said this before, your value, my value as a human being, is intrinsic. It is, we were born with it because we're created in the image of God, right? And so Bill Gates, his intrinsic value, now hear me out, is no higher than anyone else on the face of the planet. Now, Bill Gates' value in certain areas, because of what he's done and the success he's had and the wealth he's built, he has created financial gain. Whatever you think of Bill Gates, maybe that's a bad example. Many of you probably hate Bill Gates, but just forget about that for a moment and take away all the other ancillary stuff. And just the point is that a person's value as a human being is not tied to his or her earnings, right? These are different things. You don't treat someone better, at least you better not, because they have more money than someone else. In fact, it's been said, and I agree with this, if you want to know the true character of a person, look at how he or she treats someone who can do nothing for him. Look at how he treats someone on the janitorial staff or a server at a restaurant. You've seen people on business meetings. They're all professional and kind and courteous to the person they're meeting with for the business lunch, and then they treat the waiter like absolute garbage. The server. The 1980s called and wants their terminology back. The server, as I've been taught to say. You can't treat your server poorly and be a good person, basically, is the idea here. And that's because the way you treat people, the way I treat people, should be one of the top priorities in our minds. But how we treat them and what we pay them, it are not the same thing. You don't just simply pay somebody more because you like them. You shouldn't anyway. If you do that as a business owner very long, your business will suffer. You might get lawsuits along the way as well. But you can't pay someone more. You shouldn't pay someone more just because you like them. Or you can't treat them, like if you're a Democratic congressman running for office and you have your spouse manage your campaign and you pay them exorbitant amount of money from your campaign to run your campaign, or in the case of Bernie Sanders' wife, to do his media placement, which they get 15% or whatever percentage it is now off of the placement of those ads. And that's why Bernie's doing quite well, by the way. Bernie, the Democratic Socialist, is doing better than the rest of us who are out there living on starvation wages, I guess. Anyway, but this idea, it starts here. Your value as a person is not based upon your earnings. Your value as a person is based upon who you were created in the image of. And that's the image of God. And even if you don't believe that or want to accept it, that's fine. It gets a little trickier, but we still understand the value of a life, right? We still understand and value that individual just as a potential. Maybe just you're at a place today where you're not earning what you want to earn. Your earnings are a snapshot in time anyway. In the United States of America, people move back and forth between income classes, if you will. I don't like thinking about classes, but just for the sake of discussion, people move amongst income classes or groups sometimes multiple times over the course of their lives. You may be struggling tremendously now and be incredibly financially blessed in a short matter of time, or vice versa. Anyway, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, the value of a job is based upon what the value of the job is, right? In other words, you can't say arbitrarily that every job that every person does is worth $15 an hour, at least. If not, you're paying poverty, or what was the word he used? Starvation wages. Bernie says you're paying starvation wages, which I find ironic. The only wages Bernie pays are wages that he takes from he takes taxes or donations in the cases of his campaign. They didn't produce anything. They did not produce a thing. They either get donations or taxation, and then the money that they get is then provided as salary. Bernie's not out there producing a diddly darn thing. Yet he's lecturing the people that do produce, those of you listening to my voice, on how much you have to pay someone to do any job in your company. So suddenly, every job that every person does is worth at least $15 an hour, regardless of where you live. There's dramatic differences between, say, the standard of living in, say, San Francisco versus the standard of living in Omaha, Nebraska, or Little Rock, Arkansas, or Santa Fe, New Mexico. Take your pick of cities around the country. But Bernie Sanders and the radical left think that they can fix that by just telling businesses, hey, you greedy, no good, blankety blanks, pay your people more and quit trying to kill them by starving them with the terrible wages you're paying them. I want to say something else too, and I got to take a time out. Actually, I'm going to have to wait to say this after the break. But there's another thing that I think people need to wrap their heads around when it comes to the way to think about employment. And I think that some people have a erroneous claim that it's the job of the business to support their lifestyle. That is not the correct way of looking at it. Anyway, timeout is in order. I'm going to play a soundbite from Lindsey Graham as well. Lindsey Graham thinks $15 is too much, but he still thinks that people should be paid more. Okay, so he's going to do something about it with some Waffle House minimum wage plan. So I'll share that after the break as well. Second half of the program. Sit tight. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Care to change. And Interior Construction Services by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
Would you like to save 20% or more on your insurance? Let AIA and Avon do a free comparison for you. As an independent agent, we can find savings that fit your needs and budget. We work for you, not the insurance companies. Whether your insurance need is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, president of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Welcome back. This program brought to you in part by our friends at Avon Insurance Associates, AIA4, the number 4, lowrates.com, AIA4lowrates.com. If you're in the market for personal or business insurance, consider reaching out to Rick and his team at Avon Insurance Associates in Avon, here in Central Indiana. Again, AIA4, the number 4, lowrates.com, AIA4lowrates.com. AdvertisersGuild.com. Before I get back to the minimum wage, Oz and I were talking here during the break. She asked, what are we bombing Syria for? And we were talking about that. And it's remarkable to me. And I know we were fighting ISIS with Trump, and we dropped the mother of all bombs, MOAB, Moab. Remember that? I think that was we think that was in Afghanistan. But regardless, remember, Trump was supposed to start World War III. Trump was the one that was just this volatile, dangerous person. If Trump had done this, and I'm not even saying it shouldn't have been done. It's just kind of a breaking, story that we've read about a little bit this morning. But if Trump would have done this, how the reporting would be. Oh my goodness, he's starting Armageddon here. President Trump is. President Trump didn't start any wars. I mean, it's just a remarkable thing to witness. People don't care, really. I mean, it's just something, we bombed Syria today, or yesterday, but that's what we talk about here this morning. But anyway, I want to shift gears back to this minimum wage because I think it's really important, because I had a friend, and he told me one time, he's a business owner. He said, Todd, when I bring in some fresh out of college folks who are applying for jobs, we talk, you do the interview and that sort of thing. He said, it's a remarkable thing. I get to the end and we talk about salary requirements or whatever, and the person will say, I want, say, $60,000 a year. And he says, okay, well, why do you think you're worth that much? And he said it was almost stunning to him how often people would say things like, well, I get these student loans to pay off, or, well, I got to save money for this or that, or I, want to go do this or whatever. It doesn't, there's something that had nothing to do with the job. It's just, this is my life. And the person sitting across the desk from him looked at him as though it was his job just to, basically by being an employer, you've signed up to provide whatever standard of living the person applying for the job is decided that they want in life. That's not the right way to look at this. And I'm sure, because I know well the people that listen to this audience, that does not describe 99.9% of you. Some of you, a couple of you may describe a little bit, but it's rare, statistically rare for that to be the case. But out in the rest of the world, this is a common thing. The employer owes someone in exchange for the work provided. And once those two parties agree on what that is, then they should be able to engage in that. Why do we need the government? Again, we talked about this not as it pertains to the minimum wage, but as it pertains to other issues even yesterday. The government's going to swoop in and suddenly make all things right. Is there a book somewhere that says that this job is worth this much? I mean, of course, they're going to say that all jobs are worth the same, but they make it sound like there's some objective standard by which they are the enforcers of morality. It's immoral, business owner, to pay this person this much for this work. According to what? Your perspective? You're not paying them enough to live. Well, according to what? I mean, this is what the job is worth, right? This is what the job is worth. Look, I love to be able to do things for our team, for our folks, but there are always limitations. No matter who you are, there's a limitation. There's a limitation to what you can do. But it's worth what it is worth. It is the equivalent to me at screaming to God every night. If you think that you're unattractive and you say, God, I can't believe you made me this unattractive. Or even worse, going to your parents and saying, you've made me, your DNA is a part of me. You've made me this unattractive. Okay, let's just say you're hideously ugly. What do you want your parents to do about it? That's my point. What in the world do they think can be done about this? Well, arbitrarily making the value of a job worth more. There are going to be consequences for that, my friends. There's no way in this world that there cannot be consequences for that, because things work a certain way. And if you change the way that things are done, if you force people to have to then adjust how they operate, there's going to be ramifications. There will be people who lose jobs. What's the budget office? I'm drawing a blank. Congressional Budget Office has said that there's going to be lots of lost jobs if we raise the minimum wage to this. But there's going to be fewer people living in poverty, because the people who live on $7.50 an hour now are going to live on $15, or whatever the percentages of those people that actually keep their jobs are. Restaurants will close. I mean, this is going to be tough for small businesses. And by the way, if you want to make more, the best way to make more money is to take on more responsibility, provide more value to your company, help improve the bottom line. These are the ways to do it. Don't sit back, cross your arms, and say, this is what I do here, and you're going to pay me this because my time is worth this. Well, I'm not paying you for your time. I'm paying you for something to be done. I'm not just paying you to spend your time here. I'm paying you to accomplish a goal, an objective, to play a role in a task, and providing a good or service to our customers. But people don't understand business. That's another thing. I know when I studied political science in college, and I'm telling you, I can understand easily how someone can graduate with a political science degree and think that business and money is evil. I can absolutely understand that. In fact, my senior year, and I've got to take a break. My senior year, one of my last courses was a course called Is Capitalism Really Better? And it compared and contrasted communism and capitalism. Butler University. There were 8 students in the class, four boys, 4 girls, and at the end of the class, at the end of the semester, we took a vote. And I'm just here to share the data. You can read into it or just whatever. You can not read into it. I'm not suggesting anything. Let me be clear on the top, off the top here, that I'm not suggesting anything. But there were 8 votes. 4 people voted for capitalism. 4 people voted for communism. Half the class voted for communism. Seniors, political science majors, Butler University. The year was 2000. Political science majors often go into law school or into other political endeavors. They're working for congressional offices, for all I know. They're starting up think tanks or working at places managing people, advancing political philosophy and research and that sort of stuff. Do you not think that has an impact on average Americans to think, that there's this embrace of communism, at least half of the people in my class? Anyway, timeout is in order. Mr. Potato Head, if I can still say that. Have you seen this? We'll talk about that after the break. I still want to play this Lindsey Graham soundbite. Talk about Mr. Potato Head too. Sit tight. Be back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Why would you call a company called Commercial Service for your home heating, cooling, and plumbing? Same question I had, because they have provided over 70 years of quality service and trained products for both homes and businesses in Central Indiana. It's hard to stop Commercial Service, and it's hard to stop a train. Give them a call. I'm glad I did.
Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Welcome back. I told you I would share this soundbite. Lindsey Graham talking about his plan, the government's plan through the eyes of Lindsey Graham and other Republicans as well to fix the minimum wage problem here in our country. They're not going to be on board with the $15 an hour, but they can do it more responsibly, better than the Democrats. Here's what Lindsey Graham has to say.
I know what it's like for businesses to have to absorb increased cost. There's only so much you can pass on to the consumer. So this is the really bad idea. I don't mind looking at increasing the minimum wage in a responsible way. I just met with the Waffle House today. If you don't know who the Waffle House is, you're not in touch with America. So the Waffle House is where the rubber meets the road in terms of affordable good food and people working hard and living off tips. So they got a plan I'm going to talk to Joe Manchin about how to increase the minimum wage, index it to inflation, that will be easier for business and get us to where we want to go. But what these folks are proposing is doubling it at a time when government at the state and local level is pretty much restricting your ability to earn a living. You want a 1-2 punch for small business? This is it.
There you go. So, I mean, it sounds more responsible than saying we're just going to raise it, businesses suck it up, or deal with, the consequences. But it's still not like he's talked to Waffle House. So suddenly, and God bless Waffle House, no problems with Waffle House. Waffle House thinks that this should be done. Okay, so let's apply this to every business in America. What on earth, Senator Graham? Anyway, I just told you I would share that. I don't want to miss this opportunity, though, because I had a listener said this to me last night. I saw this morning, too, but listener emailed me this. Headline here, Fox News. Hasbro rebranding Mr. Potato Head toy line as gender-neutral Potato Head, but not renaming individual toys. Mr. Potato Head, according to the article of Fox News, the classic Hasbro toy brand, which includes the mustachioed Mr. Potato Head and the clean-shaven Mrs. Potato Head will soon be rebranded as the gender-neutral Potato Head toy line. So it won't be Mr. and Mrs. anymore. It'll be gender neutral. The new branding will be reflected on packaging scheduled to debut later this year, the Associated Press reported on Thursday. Hasbro says its Mr. Potato Head brand, which includes all kinds of toy tubers, is being changed simply to Potato Head in order to better reflect the full line. Give me a break. We know why you're doing this. Don't tell us it's to better reflect the full line. This is California. In the state of California, they are either looking into, or maybe they've already passed the legislation, I don't know. But $1,000 fines for businesses, department stores who have a girls' toy section or a girls' section and a boys' section. You're going to get fined for that in the People's Republic of California. By the way, where Javier Becerra is coming from, as far as the state that he is, that he calls home, and he's the HHS pick for Biden. He's facing some nomination problems. Doesn't care, apparently, that there were no free and fair elections in Cuba. He didn't call for those in 97, didn't seem to have a problem with the dictatorship. By the way, if the Democrats want to look and find people who are a threat to our democracy, they should look no further than the folks like Javier Becerra. Quick timeout is in order. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back here in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with 0 body fillers, 0 painting, and 0 diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279. or visit them at economyheatingandair.com.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Welcome back. I briefly touched on this. I don't have much time, but Javier Becerra, Biden's HHS pick. He is, in 1997, when he was a representative, he really did. He would not come out and speak out against he went to Cuba. He didn't speak out against the conditions in Cuba. He actually wouldn't even basically say it was wrong for them not to have free and fair elections. Now he wants to be the HHS pick. In fact, he upset even Democrats on the on a caucus he was a part of. They resigned from the caucus, 1997. Democrats are out there looking to blame MAGA supporters, Trump supporters, say that these folks are a threat to our democracy, as they say. Meanwhile, we got a real threat, someone who doesn't seem to apparently have a problem with Fidel Castro in Cuba. That's going to be the HHS pick. I've got to go. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening. SDGC Monday. Take care.
Warren Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corn Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com. There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit blakehornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual.